Hi, good afternoon, everyone. I would like to welcome all of you to the webinar being held by Jindal School of Liberal Arts and Humanities for the benefit of the applicants for our upcoming uh, batch, class of 2020. I am Ankur Bora. I am the head of outreach and international admissions at OP Jindal Global University. Uh, and I will be taking you through this webinar today. Uh, the format of the webinar, I will be speaking for about 30 minutes and giving you a presentation on our program. The presentation will cover topics right from the program, the curriculum, our international partnerships, why you should look at JSLH as your career option, followed by our detailed analysis of our admission process. How do we select students? What are the admission process that we have? And on the later half of the presentation, I'll be talking about our scholarships policies and how do we operate on scholarship process. Also, I'll update you on our uh, updated admission policy in view of COVID-19 pandemic. So thank you so much for being here today with us, and we look forward to having a good conversation with you. I will be taking your questions at the last. You can type in your questions. There will be a section which says questions. So if you have any point of time, you would have any question, you can just write it down in the questions box. So I'll be taking that questions only at the last. So last 15-20 minutes is for your questions and answers. So let's begin. So OP Jindal Global University is a global university. We are located in Delhi NCR. Our geographical location is Sonipat, but we are about 90 minutes from Delhi International Airport and very accessible to Delhi. We have regular shuttle buses that go to the last metro station. So although we are not geographically in Delhi, but we are very close to Delhi, which gives us a benefit of both being in Delhi and not being in Delhi. So why should anybody look at JGU? I guess there are many things that you should evaluate a university by, but in our belief, there are 7 main points that any university should be evaluated on. And these 7 points are being highlighted here in the presentation. The faculty of a university is very important for you to know who will be teaching you in the course of your program. The infrastructure and facilities is very important. Alumni outcomes, what are the kind of things that the graduates from that university have been doing is very important. Rankings and rewards, what is the stature of that university is another important factor for you guys. Interdisciplinarity is another important part, and that is one part that we at Jindal live by. We look for interdisciplinarity in anything that we do. Another aspect that we have is internationalization. Uh, a truly global university, the middle part of your university name says global, and we live by that mantra. We are a global institution. And yeah, the last part that we are very happy about is our student life. We are a fully residential university. So that means we have to have a very live electric student life, and we are very proud that we have about almost now 5,000 plus students studying on campus, and most of us also stay on campus or stay near the campus, so we have staff and faculty accommodation. So we are very happy with the kind of life that we have, the campus life that we have at JGU. Let's have the next slide. So we are part of a global institution, as I said, uh, and our rankings and awards speak for themselves. We are now, if you are following news around JGU, we are now an institution of eminence. We were recently awarded this. If somebody is not aware, there are about 900 plus universities in India, and only 20 universities were this nomenclature by the Ministry of HRD, Government of India, which says that these 20 institutions will break into global rankings, top 500 global rankings in the coming 10 years. But we are very happy to share that we are already in amongst the world's top 800 universities. We are, as of now, in the top 2.67% of the universities in the globe. To talk about our law school is now #1 in India, and also we are, for our law school, we are amongst top 150 global law schools. That means any law school, be it in US, Canada, UK, or any part of the world, we are amongst the top 150 law schools. So the university and the vision of the university remains that we have to benchmark ourselves globally, and that benchmarking happens because of the things that I mentioned in my previous slide. Having a faculty set base which is at par with global institutions, having curriculum which is at par with global institutions, having alumni outcomes which are at par with the global institutions, and internationalization, and a couple of other things that we focus on. So all of you today are interested in Jindal School of Liberal Arts and Humanities. JSLH is one of our, I'll say one of the schools that has been performing consistently well. All of our schools are performing consistently well, but JSLH, being one of the older schools in the university, has a rich legacy now of students graduating and doing very well in their careers. So we offer a 3-year program. This is called a 3-year BA Honors in Liberal Arts and Humanities. We also have what we say a 4-year dual degree program with 2 colleges in the West. One is Rollins College in the United States, and another is a Deakin University in Australia. So we also have an option, if students are interested, for students to do a double degree program. You can spend 2 years here with us in Jindal, JSLH, Jindal School of Liberal Arts and Humanities, and 2 years at one of our partner universities, and actually get 2 degrees. One is a degree from JSLH, and another is a degree from our partner institution. So these 2 are mentioned here in the slide. And we will be talking about our partnerships more in the next slides, coming up slides. So what is liberal arts? I'm sure many of you would be aware of this since you have an interest, but just to get us all on the same level, liberal arts and how we do it at Jindal is that we focus on small classes, close faculty-student engagement, and this is a very important part of our program. We have in JSLH 1:9 student to faculty ratio. That means each of our students is closely monitored and mentored by our faculty. We have a strong interdisciplinary foundation. Definitely, liberal arts is all about interdisciplinarity, showcasing the best of all the key core courses which make up the foundation of knowledge for all other programs. We are very focused on creating students, or giving students the skills to have which are very important for their careers, which is critical thinking, good reading skills, good writing skills, and we focus on apart from your academic development, also your personal development. We as a program are very conscious that we want to create individuals that are not only source of good knowledge in their respective subjects, but also are good human beings. So that is our philosophy at liberal arts program. So our liberal arts students graduate with knowledge, flexible range of skills, aptitudes, and a lifelong curiosity and love for learning. So if you have any of these inclinations, we welcome you at JSLH. So why liberal arts? Why should somebody look for liberal arts program? Again, the slides mentioned 4 things. One of the key things, as I have already mentioned, is interdisciplinary courses. So there are a variety of courses that you can take at Jindal. You can combine science, environmental studies, literature, history, philosophy, psychology. So there are a lot of subjects that you can combine. So you don't limit yourself to only one subject. The prudent thing to mention here is that we are not only about the breadth, but also about the depth of the program. So you also enjoy the breadth of probably learning 4 or 5 different courses from across different fields. But when you go to your second year and third year, you will enjoy learning a particular subject. It can be a major. You can do a major in, I will talk about those majors in the next slide, but you can enjoy learning in depth about a particular subject that you feel will be a good fit for your career. We believe in experiential learning. All our programs and particularly JSLH, our students are given hands-on learning experience. Our students do and that's another important aspect. We feel that all our courses should be hands-on. So we have students going on to start doing courses at Jaipur Literacy Festival. They also go to study Buddhism at Dharamshala. They also study religion studies at Varanasi. So there is a plethora of experiential learning aspect to our program. Languages, Spanish is compulsory. So all our students at JSLH learn Spanish, but students also have an option to learn French, Mandarin, or German out of these 3 additional languages. So French, Mandarin, and German are additional languages over and above Spanish that you will learn in your JSLH program. We also have an option for students to do a self-designed major. So if you feel that I want to do something on my own, and if you have the academic credentials, so please note that this self-designed major will be only given to students who have good academic potential and who are academically bright and showcase some skills in that area that the faculty feels that that student can be given a self-designed webinar. Major, sorry. So these are the majors available. We give a BA Honors Liberal Arts program. So the degree is BA Honors in Liberal Arts and Humanities. You can pursue these 10 majors. So the majors available for students are Economics, Environment and Sustainability, Expressive Arts, or what we call as Visual Arts. We also have Sociology and Anthropology. Then we have History, International Business, Literary Studies, Philosophy, Political Science, and Psychology. So these are 10 options for students to do their majors in. So these are 10 pre-designed majors. If any of you is interested in doing a self-designed major, like our students in the past have done self-designed majors in art, history, and literature, expressive arts, international relations, environment psychology. So that 11th option is also open to you. You can go in for your self-designed major or any of these available 10 majors which are pre-designed for you. So you have to have 40 credits to graduate with a major. The breakup is in front of you on this slide. So the course structure, the total program is 3 years. You need to get 150 credits to graduate. We have a foundation program. Foundation courses. There are about 19 foundation courses. There are 4 internships. Now, this is a very important part of our course structure at JSLH. We want you guys to have industry experience or on-the-ground experience right from day one. And that's why internship is credited for. As you can see, there are 10 credits given to internships, which form an important part of your grading. Then we have the major courses. You have to do 10 major courses, and there are cross-listed electives. Now, another important aspect about our program, and that students should appreciate, since we are part of a larger university, we are JGU, and there are about 8 other schools apart from liberal arts. The law being the biggest schools, but we have School of Art and Architecture. You have different schools available. We have School of Business, we have School of Journalism and Mass Communication, and there are more schools. So students are free to choose electives which may not be offered by a School of Liberal Arts and Humanities. Maybe you are interested in studying something from Art and Architecture. You're free to do that. Maybe you want to study something from, let's say, law. You're free to do that. So that freedom and that cross-listed electives, there are about 100 plus cross-listed electives that you can choose from. So that makes our course very flexible. very student oriented, and right from day one we focus on what a student demands or should be the best fit of education for that student. So that's another important aspect of our course structure. So the kind of courses that you study, again, a breakup of all these courses here, right from first year to second year to third year. You can see the 19 core courses. So some of the courses are interdisciplinary studies. So the first year, basically, first 3 semesters, I'll say, are majorly about your foundation courses. And foundation courses are courses that we feel are necessary for any students to graduate from a liberal arts. So you will have to study irrespective of whether you want to pursue in some a major in some other subject, but you have to make a base in political science, philosophy, literature, psychology, history, economics, quants. So all these subjects, as I mentioned in my previous comment, we want students who are prepared, who are well-rounded individuals, who have critical thinking skills, who are good readers, good writers, who are well-rounded personalities, and all these core courses help you develop into a well-rounded personality or a well-rounded graduate from JSLH. So this slide is again a reference for students who may be interested in the kind of courses that we offer at JSLH. Internationalization. We are a very international university. Every semester we send close to 150 students abroad, and we send them abroad to some of the best places that you can imagine. You can see some of those programs mentioned on your screen. We have short-term study abroad programs, tie-ups with Harvard, with UC Berkeley, with Oxford, with Sciences-Po, with University of British Columbia, University of Granada, summer school. So you see the who's of global universities are there, and I don't think any other university in India has those kind of tie-ups that we have at JSLH. I also mentioned about our dual degree programs with Rollins College in USA, which is one of the leading liberal arts institution in US, and also Deakin University in Australia, which is again a leading university in Australia. We also have other semester exchange program tie-ups with universities across Netherlands, the France, Spain, UK, and all these are mentioned here. I won't take everybody's name, but you can again see very good universities that I don't think any other Indian universities has these kind of student mobility options that we can offer you at JSLH. So this is about our semester exchange, short-term study programs, and dual degree programs. I also mentioned something about internship and how internship is compulsory. So every student at JSLH has to do 4 internships in the 3 year of their program. Internships generally happen between semester breaks. So between one semester to another semester, there is almost a 40 to 45-day break every time, if not more. And we want you to utilize that time into earning college credit and making yourself more marketable. I mentioned why be an intern in front on this slide, but I'm sure many of you know academics is one part, but having on the ground knowledge and knowing how actual world works is another part that is very important for us at JSLH. So you get to explore your career field, you get to understand how to give an interview, how to do a job search, how do you manage your time academically along with your internship. So that is very important part. And internships are done by our office. So there is a office in JSLH or JGU, which is called Office of Career Services. So there is one person who is assigned, one or more than one people who are assigned in a year to look for internship opportunities for students. And please note those internship opportunities are provided in consultation with the student. So it's a one-to-one interaction. You will be mentored by a faculty very closely, and you will also be mentored by one of our colleagues from Office of Career Services who will guide you on how to prepare a application, how to do a application process, how do you appear for an interview, how do you look for, how do you present yourself in an interview. So that kind of personal grooming and attention is also provided to all our students at JSLH. So some of the career options that students have gone on in the past is right from think tanks to NGOs to embassies to journalism, publishing houses, consulting. So a plethora of opportunities for students available um, uh, through JSLH. These are some of our highlights from placements that happened uh, recent years. We had a lot of our students ask us about, sir, what is your highest salary package? Salary, although I don't appreciate that question if it's not followed up by a follow-up question. So yes, highest salary package was 18 lakhs per annum, but to tell you very frankly, almost 80% of our students go abroad for higher education. If you want to stay in India and look for a job, we definitely provide you with placement opportunity. And as a JSLH graduate, let me say you are much sought after by corporate houses in India. But what we have seen in the past, students have gone on to do international internships. They have done a phenomenal job of getting into some of the best universities. So these are some of our students on the past who have gone on to study uh, in best of the best universities. Yale University, you see Sciences you see Oxford. So these are just a tiny bit of our students. We have so many graduates now who have gone on to do, who are currently pursuing their masters abroad, or who are doing some phenomenal work in a university in India or abroad. So these are some of our students who are currently doing very interesting programs at some very interesting places abroad. Okay. So coming now to our admission process, we are a very, I'm happy to share that we are a very liberal institution in sense of our admission process. So we follow a holistic admission process. As I said, we are a 3-year degree program. Minimum eligibility. So this is minimum eligibility for all our students is that they have to do 10+2, which is 12th or equivalent CBSE grade 12 or equivalent state boards or IB or Cambridge, any recognized board with 60% marks. There is no subject cutoff, or there is no particular subjects that so all our students are welcome from across different streams. So be it from science, commerce, arts, humanities, whichever field you're coming from, you're welcome to apply to us. The only thing that we demand is that you have minimum 60% marks. We, apart from your academics from the school, we also take some entrance examinations. The major entrance examinations that we take are JSAT, SAT, and ACT. Now, SAT, ACT, I'm sure all of you are familiar with those exams. JSAT is a specific exam which is conducted by Pearson, and I'll talk more about in the next slide about JSAT in the next slide. How JSAT is different from SAT or an ACT exam. So the last date for admission for us is 1st of July. Our complete admission process is online on our website. You just have to log in on jgu.edu.in and start your application process. There is no couriers, there is no hard copy applications to be sent. The complete process is only online. Our application fee for applying to us is 3,000 rupees. So when you go online, you can make an online transaction and pay 3,000 to submit your application. Our program fee for per annum is 6,50,000. We are a residential university, so that means everybody has to stay on campus. Our residential fee is 2,40,000, and then there is refundable security deposit also. As I said, this is the website, admissions.jgu.in. JGU also has education loans with tie-ups with banks like ICICI, Dena Bank, HDFC Credila. So we have tie-ups with these institutions who, if you get an offer letter from JGU, can provide you education loan at subsidized interest rates. So if you are interested in that option as well, we can help you out in establishing contact with these people. As I said, our admission process is online. So when you go online, this is what you have to fill. The form will ask you your academic credentials from grade 10, 11, and 12. We understand most of our students do not have 12 scores. So you can give a predicted score if you are an IB student, or if you're not an IB student, you can just leave it blank. SAT, ACT, JSAT scores, either of these three scores we need. Non-academic and personal context is very important for us at JSLH. So we look for your extracurriculars, letter of recommendations, and personal context. So when you log in to your form online, you will see that there is uh, there are a few questions that need to be answered. Now those few questions, I think there are about 4 to 5 questions that are to be answered by a student during the process of that application form. Please answer those questions very seriously, because that forms an important part of your next step, which is your in-person assessment via an interview. And now all our interviews are held online or via telephone, so you don't have to go anywhere or travel anywhere. You can give that interview from the comfort of your home. So there are three parts to the application. First is fill out your academic criteria, academic credentials. Then you fill in your non-academic and personal context credentials, and followed by a interview. So there is a three-part process to our application process, application form. So talking about JSAT, JSAT is General Scholastic Aptitude Test. This is a 120 minutes online test comprising of 120 multiple choice questions covering covering sections from logical reasoning, quantitative aptitude, and verbal ability. If you want to give JSAT, and we don't conduct JSAT, let me be very frank with this. The JSAT is a test which is conducted by Pearson. So there is a website mentioned there. You have to go and visit pearsonview.com/JSAT to register for JSAT. Prior to applying for JSAT, you have to make an application to JG to us, the School of Liberal Arts. So there are two applications. One is you apply to us on JSLH, pay the 3,000 rupee application fee, submit your credentials. We give you JGU application ID. With that application ID, you can go and register online on pearsonview/JSAT website to appear for JSAT. And there are multiple slots available, multiple centers available for you to go and appear for JSAT. There are also sample papers available freely online. So if you want to prepare for JSAT, material is available on the website itself. Now, important update for you guys on the admission policy. We all are aware of the trying times that we are in. This is like a historic moment for us, all of us on planet Earth. So everybody is adapting. We have at Office of Admissions, JSLH, have also adapted. Since we understand JSAT is not possible due to lockdown, we are rolling out, and this is very important, we are rolling out provisional conditional offers to students subject to they achieving minimum grades required in class 12, which is 60%, and JSAT. JSAT is minimum 55% overall. So we don't have sectional cutoffs, but we want you guys to have minimum 55% overall in JSAT. You have the freedom to clear JSAT anytime before joining the program. Our program as of now is expected to begin in August 2020. So you will have to clear JSAT by July, end of July. JSAT can be given multiple times, and I have got this question on with many students asking me, if I'm not able to clear JSAT, then what will happen? Well, if you clear an interview process and we find you academically good, the chances of you not clearing JSAT are very, very low. So if you get an offer from us, that means that we believe in you, and we believe in your abilities, and we believe that you will be able to clear JSAT with if not 55%, but more marks. So that is one validation that you need. If you get an offer from us, we believe in you. But even if after that you are not able to clear JSAT for some or other reasons, There are multiple attempts that you can write JSAT in, so it's not that you only have one shot. You can have, I think it's up to 3 attempts that you can do to clear JSAT. Even after that, if you are not able to clear JSAT, then as per UGC refund policy, we will refund your fee. The refund policy can be shared, is available with the admissions office. If you want, you can just drop us an email and we will send you that detailed refund policy. So very clear perspective. We are encouraging students. We don't want your applications to stop because of the pandemic. We have taken our entire admission process online, and we are rolling out provisional offers to students as of now. We've just finished rolling out offers a few days back to many of the successful candidates, and we will continue doing that for our upcoming admission cycles. So please go ahead, submit your application form. We do have limited seats, and the admissions is on a rollover basis. As soon as we finish off our seats, we'll stop admissions. As of now, our last date of admissions is 1st of July, but that can be preponed. And I'm seeing a lot of traction in applications coming to JSLH, so the faster the better. So another question that students ask us is what we look for in an interview, and which is let me tell you, is a very important part of our. And what our interviewee is looking for in those 30 minutes or 20 minutes that he spends, or he or she spends with you, are 5 things. How is your oral communication? How good are you able to articulate your thoughts through oral communication, through written communication? Again, going back to that the questions that you answer in your personal statement, the questions that you answer in the application form are evaluated here in that interview. Those questions, answers to those questions will form the base for this interview. So be very cautious of how you communicate with us over phone, and also how you communicate with us through writing. We also want to understand your imagination and creativity. We have your marks in front of us. We know you're coming from good schools, you have good academics, you have got good scores in SAT or ACT, but we also want to understand what, apart from academics, do you think about others? How do you think? Are you open to new ideas? Are you very important aspect? Another important aspect is self-reflection. Do you reflect upon yourself? Are you a person who tries to think, this is what I want to achieve in life, and this is why I want to do this? So self-reflection, be about your positives or even your negatives. We want people who are self-reflecting, and who definitely have diversity and range of extracurricular activities, which is an important part for a student to be at JSLH. That you should be interested in something which is just more than academics. You are more interested in people around you. You want to contribute back to the society. You want to solve global problems. So we want to see that through your extracurriculars or any diverse experiences that you may have. So what are our suggestions for you to ace the interview process? I suggest that first thing that you need to do is be genuine. A lot of students try to be someone that they are not, and it comes across very easily. You can't fool a faculty. You can't fool a person who is in a position to interview by just being somebody else. Second thing is that you should convince yourself first of why you want to study liberal arts, and we will follow. If you are convinced, then that you don't need to try hard to convince us. We can see that in your candidature. But if you are not convinced and you are giving us answers which we feel are not genuine answers, or you are not done your research, then that's a big negative for us. And as I mentioned, the third point is think over before writing your personal statement and answers to application form questions. Read about JSLH. I think that's the minimum that you can do. Read about us, read about our faculty, where they come from, the kind of research work that they are doing, the kind of courses that we offer, the kind of student mobility options we have. And I give you +1 for all the students who are attending this webinar. You are learning a lot about GSLH right now, but it's not possible for us to do webinars every time. So please go through our website. And the last and a very important aspect of a candidature of an application to GSLH is a student to have an open mind. We want students who have an open mind, who are flexible, who are adaptable, who we feel we can mold into GSLH graduates who can then change the world around them when they graduate from us. So these are some tips that I thought I'll share with you for the interview process. Now, another important part is about scholarships. How do we at GSLH give out scholarships? So all our scholarships at GSLH are given on means cum merit basis. So that means the first criteria is need. So students having a family income below 30 lakhs per annum are eligible to apply for scholarships. So if your family income is above 30 lakhs per annum, you are not eligible to apply for scholarships. But if your family income is below 30 lakhs, you can apply for scholarships. But please note, we will require supporting documents to prove that that your family income is an X amount, and that will be done via income tax returns, bank statements, asset details, and there are some other documents that we require. So that's selection criteria 1, your family income. The second criteria, the second aspect, I'll not say the criteria, but second important point about our scholarship process is that we give scholarships only on the tuition fee. The maximum scholarship that was given last year was 75% on tuition fee. We did have multiple other scholarships in the range of scholarship of 10% and 25% and 50%. But the maximum scholarship that we gave, and when I say maximum, I'll say 75% was maximum, which was given to minimum students. So there are not many students at GSLH that get 75%. But if you are an exceptional student and if you require support, we will definitely give support to you. But 75% on tuition fee, there is no scholarships for residents. So that's a different aspect that you should be aware of. We don't give any scholarships on boarding charges or resident charges. Scholarship applications will open only after the grade 12 results are out. As of now, as you are aware, there is a lot of uncertainty. A lot of exams have been postponed. So once we have the results for all our students, we will call in for applications to scholarship program. Maybe we are expecting it to be open by June, but we don't know. So July and August is what we think will be the time that we will open our application forms for scholarships. And once the scholarship application forms are open, we'll send out a mailer. We'll ask for students to apply for scholarships, and we'll ask for your academics, your grade 12 final scores, JSAT results or SAT, ACT results, and then based on your academics, on your merit, we'll give you scholarships. And as I said, scholarship can range from 10% to 75% on tuition fee. So scholarships is covered. Now the last section of this presentation is about our infrastructure and facilities. If some of you have been to JGU, we are JGU campus. I think it's one of the most beautiful campus that you will find for any higher education institution in our country. We are spread across magnificent 82 plus acres. We are a state-of-art student housing facility with central air conditioned rooms. We have a library, which one of the largest in India. We have catering, which is provided by Sodexo, and it includes cuisine from around the globe. We also have a food court, which has brands right from Domino's to Subway to Burgos and a lot of other eating options, which makes for a good selection for your meals and dining out. Student life, again, just to touch on that, we are a very vibrant campus. So we have facilities, right from an Olympic size swimming pool to gymnasium to football cricket ground. So a lot of action happening there. We have people such as Nasiruddin Shah, Paddy G, global personalities coming on campus quite frequently and performing for us. We have sports facilities, as I mentioned previously, cricket and football and badminton. So a lot of things for you to be engaged in. So this is just some of the pictures from our campus. This is how our campus looks evening. This is one of our classrooms. Uh, this is another shot, beautiful day on campus. This is another beautiful shot of our campus. This is how the hostels look on campus. One block of hostels on campus. Again, another shot from our campus. And these are all self-shot pictures, right? These are not shot by any professional photographers. These are mobile shot pictures. This is the food court that we have. I was mentioning about that. This is the library that we have. This is the reading room that we have at JGU. We call it the Global Reading Room, one of the most vibrant places on campus. This is one of the hostel rooms that we have. Yes, so we are an institution of eminence, as I mentioned, by MHRD, Government of India. And that's about it. I have come to the end of my presentation. If you have now, I will be happy to take your questions, but anybody wants to reach out to me, that's my email ID and that's my mobile number on the screen. I am very much available to students on WhatsApp, through email. Anytime you feel you want to reach out to us, I'm just a WhatsApp message away. So I guess I will take some questions now. So let me check. What are the questions? Okay, it says, do you have a quota for international students admitted? No, we do not have any quota. And talking on the subjects of quotas, we don't have any kind of quota in Jindal. All our admissions are done on merit and merit alone. If you can clear our admission process, you are part of JGU, and there is no other way. There is no NRI quota. There is no international student quota. For international students, the good part is that we don't charge you a higher fee than an Indian student. So our fee is same for international students as an Indian student. So you don't pay a higher fee as an international student. You pay the same fee as any other student at JGU. Another question that I can see is, will the JSAT be online? So as of now, the communication that we have from Pearson says that the test centers should be open by the month of May. But if that doesn't happen, you have time till July to give the test. We are also working to get JSAT online, and things are moving fast in that direction as well. So if that happens, then you don't have to go anywhere out of your home to give the test. You can again give JSAT from the comfort of your home. But one point is clear. We are a very what should I say? We are very aware of our the kind of situation that we are in, and this is once in a lifetime kind of a thing. So we will not let students be penalized if let's say the test centers do not open in May. Probably we will extend the date for you to give JSAT again, because if there is no test center available or the test doesn't go online, there is no way you can do it. Probably then we will extend the date to give JSAT, or we'll find out some other way. So please be sure that you will not be penalized for something which is out of your hands, something that happens because of external environment. So we apply to JSLH with an open mind. We are here to support you, and we will make sure that you are not hassled by something which is not in your control. Okay, so I'll have another question. It says, I have given the SAT. Manya has asked this question. I have given SAT. Do I have to give JSAT? No, you do not have to give JSAT. If you have a score of, I think 1000 plus, minimum 1000 plus is the score. So if you have a decent SAT score, you don't have to give SAT. Prabha, hi Prabha. Prabha, my dear friend counselor from Mauritius has asked me a question. What is the difference between the fee for dual degree program? So yes, if you are pursuing the dual degree program at Rollins or Deakin, you only have to pay the fee for the 2 years that you spent here at GGU. The balance 2 years that you spent at Rollins or Deakin, you have to pay the fee that is charged by them. You don't pay to JGU. So that fee it has to be decided by those two institutions, and that generally is in the range of 40,000 to 50,000 US dollars per annum. In those institutions, the Australian Deakin, I'm not quite sure, but Rollins is between 40 to 50,000 per annum. Okay, how big? So I think this is Hardik has asked an important question. Hardik Chetal, how big is the batch? So last year our batch was 122 students, and as of now we are very happy with those 122 students that we took in. The year before, the batch was somewhere around 100 students. So we did had an increase last year. I think one of the most sought after majors, and I'm nothing to say about other majors, but psychology remains one of the most sought after major at JSLH. I see majority of our students going for psychology, but we do have students that go for other, as I mentioned in my previous slide, for other majors as well. So I'll say, but if you want to take the top of the tops by mass numbers, it's psychology. Okay. Okay, so this is a question that has been asked by Pia. Pia says that does giving JSAT at an earlier date increase chances of acceptance? Pia, I'll say it's not a state of. I don't have a state of answer to this. We have a holistic admission process, and as of now, we are doing selections. We don't have, for many of the applications, we don't have JSAT. So it's not that we are judging students who do not have JSAT on a different platform than students who have JSAT. Yes, having JSAT or SAT or ACT score definitely helps the interviewee in assessing your capability. But that said and done, it doesn't mean that a student who doesn't have JSAT will start at a lower benchmark. For us, we appreciate, we accept the situation that we are in, and both for me personally and for us as an institution, both our students are equal. So there is no I'll not say there is a preference for somebody who has a JSAT score. Yes, there's a preference in the sense that you will get a confirmed admission if you have the JSAT score, and also eligible JSAT score, and your grade 12 marks are available. So then you get a confirmed admission, and then you can have your a confirmed admission from JSLH. But apart from that, there is nothing. There is no preference. Okay, I want to. So there is one question by Sanyukta. It says, I want to pursue environment and sustainability. Would you have suitable internships for this program? Definitely, Sanyukta. We have brilliant set of faculty, brilliant set of tie-ups. I think right from World Wildlife Fund to Greenpeace to United Nations. Our students have done fantastic internships across these organizations, and these are just some of the top of the mind things that I can remember. But environment and sustainability has been as a major around for quite some time now, and we do have alumni that have graduated with environment and sustainability major. So definitely you will have a lot of good things, and definitely some of the best faculty set that you will have in sense of environment and sustainability. I encourage you to go through our faculty set at JSLH, and you'll see a lot, if not more, but at least 4 to 5 faculty who are currently pursuing research in the area of environment and sustainability at JSLH. Okay. Ria says I'm not able to hear the audio. Ria, probably some problem with your connection, because I have not seen anybody else mentioning that to me. So I hope you are able to sort this out. Okay, I want to put with environment sustainability. So I have another question. It says Naila has asked me, I have received provisional offer of admission. However, in the offer I was sent, it says that I need to send a copy of registration of my JSAT with my fee, and the registrations are not being done right now. Could you guide me through it? So if you have received an offer, Naila, you would have been given a note, an acceptance note, and a date by which you have to inform us on whether you are accepting the offer or declining the offer. Most of the time, the duration is from 1 week. I think 5 days to 1 week you get. Now the seats are limited. The competition is very high. We are a very competitive school to get in, and so we want to give out as many seats as possible to eligible candidates. So you only have 7 days to decide. The process to block your seat is that you have to pay a certain amount of registration fee. If I'm not wrong, the registration fee is 1,65,000 plus an acceptance note which says that I accept the offer to this place. Now that registration fee that is given is refundable. So there is no it's not that once you pay the fee you cannot ask for a refund. We respect your decision. Maybe in future you want to pursue something else, so that money is refundable. So there is no loss for any student who is taking up an offer and probably has second thoughts in the future. I know not many will have, but if God forbid you have second thoughts, we are there to support you with your refund request as well. So I hope that answers your question. Another question that I can see. If you're, so I have one question which says my JSAT scores were above 55, but my school scores are below 60%. I'm sorry, but if your school scores are below 60%, that you are not eligible to apply to us. Probably you can look at some other school at JGU, which doesn't have a 60% cutoff. But since we have a lot of brilliant students applying to us with a very high academics, we had to keep this bar to reduce the number of applications that we get at JSLH. So you have to have a minimum 60%. I'm sorry, I can't help you. That's a university decision, a policy. Okay. If then, what is the criteria for? Just a minute. So I have a question from Dia. It says, since you will be studying interdisciplinary subjects as a whole, would we have other disciplines of psychology separately? Yes, if you choose psychology as a major, you will have a lot of, and we can share again, you can reach out to us at the admissions office email ID mentioned here. We can provide you with the list of electives that you can pursue in psychology, but there is no quota for that. We will only allow this many students in psychology. as many students are welcome to apply for any of our majors. So we don't do selections in your second year. So if out of a batch of 120, 50 students say we want to study psychology, we will ensure that you have the necessary infrastructure, the faculty, the curriculum support that you need for all those 50 plus students to pursue psychology. If even 5 say we want to pursue psychology, then we will have the resources for those 5 students. So there is no cap. Any sort of scholarship provided, Ayushi? I just covered scholarship in the webinar. If you may have missed it, post this webinar ends, we will send you our presentation copy, the webinar recording. You can have a look at the webinar and find out. But yes, we have scholarships, merit cum means scholarship, which is given to students based on your economic background and also your academics. The maximum scholarship that we give is 75% on tuition fee. And then there are other scholarship segments of 15% to 10% to up to 50%. So again, I'll request you to go to our website or this webinar at the end of it. So we are just about to close this webinar. If we have some more questions, I'm just have to look. Is there eligibility? So guys, we have just 4 minutes to go. If you have any questions, please feel free to write them now. Okay, psychology, I can see some questions. Okay, scholarship. You say is so I can see, is there eligibility to pursue double major in law and liberal adhikari? I can see Harshita Adhikari asking me if there is an option for pursuing law and liberal studies. Yes, you can pursue law and liberal arts at Jindal. Another aspect of us is that we also have what we call as 3+3 program, wherein after pursuing 3 years of undergraduate degree in liberal arts, you can pursue a LLB program at our law school. The selection process and admission process for that is a little bit different. For that, we have to apply through LSAT, or if you don't apply through LSAT, probably you will have to give LSAT after you graduate, at the time of your graduation from JSLH. But yes, you can pursue a 3+3 degree, one degree in liberal arts and followed by a master's in law. That option is available. You can reach out to us over email and we will talk to you more about that option as well if you're interested in pursuing that. But yes, if you don't want to do a 3-year degree in law, you can do a lot of electives during your 3 years from the law school. And then again, if you reach out to us an email, we will tell you the kind of electives that you can take up from the law school during the course of your 3 years at the School of Liberal Arts and Humanities. So it is possible, and students are already doing this, studying law and liberal arts together. Semester exchange programs, yes, semester exchange program can be opted in any semester starting from your second year. So second year and third year are the years that you can, so third, fourth, fifth and sixth semesters, those are the semesters that you can go for semester exchange programs, not the first year, because the first year we want to have formed your basic foundation courses are very important in the first 2 semesters. So we want you to finish those first 2 semesters and then go for semester exchange programs in your third, fourth and subsequent semesters. So I hope that Archit has asked me a question, sir, is the scholarship also based on merit only instead of need? No, we have to address need first. So we want you to first show us that your family income is below 30 lakhs, and then you are eligible to apply for merit-based scholarships. So we first criteria is need, and then we follow it with merit. Okay. What is the benefit of major and minor subjects? I think benefit is I think benefit is that you get to have an experience of multiple subjects, and that is the beauty of liberal arts, interdisciplinarity, and that's why we do major subjects and with electives. So the internships, paid or unpaid, internships I'll say are both paid and unpaid, but I will request students to take internship as a part of your learning. We do get companies that pay students to do internships, but that is not a huge amount. Being an intern means that you are going there to learn, and that is what we want internships to be academic, more about your academics than about your uh, the incentives that you get in terms of money. But yes, students in the past have got paid internships, very well paid internships. So it depends on the kind of work that you want to do, and if there are available opportunities, paid opportunities in that field, you do get paid. But I can't say it as a generalized statement that every internship is paid. It can be paid, it can be unpaid. Okay, so I think we have come to the close of our webinar. If there are more questions, I can take. You have filled, I see one question from Sanjana. You have filled our application form, but I have not taken JSAT. No, you don't need to submit. You make sure that your application form is 100% submit, except for the JSAT score. You cover all other sections. Your application form will be submitted, and we will process it, and you will have your interview. If you are shortlisted, you will have your interview soon. So you don't need to give JSAT before submitting your application form. The gross salary is above 30 lakhs and net salary comes below 30. So I guess you will have to share your documents with us, and we'll have to have a look, Rahul, and then we'll guide you based on your documents, right? So I'm not commenting it here. What is the minimum amount scholarship is again covered 75%, and minimum is 10%. Fees I mentioned. What are the foundation courses? What is the ACT cutoff? ACT cutoff, we don't have a cutoff. We follow something called as holistic admission process. So please share your ACT marks with us, irrespective of how good or bad you think they are. We'll have our evaluation based on your other academic credentials as well, your academics, extracurriculars, your personal statement. So there is a lot of things that go into that. IB score cutoff, again, we don't have a IB score cutoff. We generally get students with a minimum of 32 and above, but again, there is no cutoff. I'll not say that students with lower than 32 do not get in. Maybe not a majority of them, but there are some cases wherein the students do get in. Okay. Okay, guys, I think there is a lot of last day to submit application forms. Our next round of interview is on, so we are over time, and this is the last question that I am taking. Our next round of interviews are happening, and this is important, please note. Our next round of interviews will happen starting 10th of May. So if you guys are interested in getting an offer and completing your admission process, I'll recommend you apply to us and submit your application form right away. If you submit your applications forms to us by 5th of May, in the next coming 10 days, we will schedule your interviews in the month of May, starting 10th, 11th, and 12th. So those are the 3 dates that we are hoping to have our interviews for the next round. So you guys, irrespective of whether you have a JSAT score or you don't have a JSAT score, submit your application form, appear for the interview, and get a clear answer from us. Whether we select you or we don't select you, you will hear from us in the month of by mid of May. So again, encourage all students to apply to us in the next coming 10 days so that we can go ahead with your interview process. So I guess that's it. Thank you so much. We are 5 minutes over time. Please, I'm sorry I couldn't take everybody's question. So if you still have questions, those are my credentials, email ID and mobile number. You are welcome to reach out to us on that, and we will be happy to help you out through your journey. Stay safe, guys. I hope all of you are doing fine and are safe and sound with your families in your home, and praying for this pandemic to get over soon, and so that we can come back to our normal life very soon. Very soon. Thank you. It's a pleasure talking to all of you. Thank you.